folks, welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of July, a full 3.5 weeks earlier than we harvested our Longans last year, and we're going to harvest them today. So there's reasons why we're 3.5 weeks earlier than we were last year, and I really expect this to be our best harvest in the 3 years that we've owned this little piece of property. We bought it a few months prior to harvest time 3 years ago. So this is actually our 4th harvest, but the first one was the full orchard that the little old lady owned, and it was a good harvest. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a really good harvest. The most money that the wife has made off of the property to date. The following year followed a year of putting soil on the land to raise the level of it up. We put a fence up, which meant we had to put the road down on the north side of the property, and the property we bought and the adjacent property to the north of it shared a canal that was the drainage canal for the two properties, because the little old lady that we bought it from, it was the other 2 rye to the north of it was owned by her son-in-law. So they shared parts of the drainage system and the irrigation system. We had to put the road in to be able to put the fence up, and it isolated our property away from the drainage canal, which meant we flooded. We flooded quite a bit. So the next year's mango harvest, our Longan harvest, was not nearly what it was the previous year. And we started putting fill dirt in and around. And when you take the Longan trees and start raising the level of the dirt up around the base of it, and we did that by a good foot and a half, it covers the roots up enough to where it will and does kill the tree. Now, these, granted, were not very big trees, but they'd still produce Longans. So we had unintentionally and inadvertently eliminated the majority of the trees on our Longan orchard. But it wasn't that big of a deal, because we really wanted the land raised up, and part of it was to stop it from flooding. So since then we have put the canal in to drain the system out, and we've taken out all of the Longans except for 4 trees. 3 of them we did not push dirt back in there to cover them up very much, and the other one we did, and it's enough to where that tree, this year we were giving that tree a year off from producing. So American ingenuity kind of screwed us on our harvest, because I thought I knew what I was doing, and to be honest with you, I didn't. My wife knew a whole lot more about it than I did, and after our first year of our harvest, the wife told me I needed to go out there and trim the trees. So I go out there with a small pair of prunes and start clipping the outside pieces of the branches where the fruit was, and that wasn't what we needed. We needed somebody to come in and totally open up the trees, and I'll show you that on today's video of the whole tree getting trimmed and pruned for the following season's produce growth. And that was my mistake. So this year, we did things, I think, correctly. After the harvest last summer, or last August, we had one of our workers come in and prune the trees correctly, the way they're supposed to be pruned. And it opened the trees up and allowed good growth. We didn't have to go in there and put something to knock the leaves off of it. It did that on its own after we pruned it. And we did the stimulant, the organic stimulant, on time this year, and we did it 3 times. So our growth this year is actually larger than what the guy that has, I think, 4 rye back there and 30 trees did. So yeah, we're impressed with it. We're going to be anxious to see what we get, and that's what today's video is going to be about. First off, I got to go get my workers some ice to put in their water bucket, and then start laying things out to get ready for the harvest. So enjoy the video, and I'll talk to y'all later. So we got น้ำแข็ง10 บาทใช่ Hey ขอบคุณครับ Thank you. Well, we've got the place to pull the longans off of the little branches that we bring in, and the tata's sitting here. I need to get my scales out, but the workers have arrived, and they're starting to lay things out to start dumping the fruit onto that big blue tarp. So it's starting. Started on this first tree here, and they have a pretty good start. Still got lots of longans to go. Yeah, got the big ladder out, size up it. And that right there is how they pick them. They just keep breaking the little bunches off and drop them down into this basket. And then haul the basket up over to the separating deal and pick them off the branches and put them in the sacks. That's how we do it. Let the process begin. That's what we want. That size right there. And that's the whole process. Okay folks, the harvest is in full swing on the Longans. It's raining right now, so seeing how I'm so sweet that my wife told me to come inside before I melted. So I'm gonna set out working on harvesting the Longans and let the people that I've got hired to do it. Anyhow, they're so much quicker than me, it's not funny. So as we progress, I will keep shooting more video and let y'all know what's going on. Talk to y'all later. Work continues. Keep going. Chai keeps bringing in the bundles of Longans to pull off. Yeah, look at that. And his wife keeps plucking them off and putting them in buckets and then bagging them into bags for us. And this is, yeah, a little over 35 kilo for that bag. And so far, I've got 3 bags here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, 3 bags, and it's gonna get a lot more here shortly. And they're just now, oh, maybe halfway done with the second tree. So, harvest is going good. Oh yeah, much better. A lot of trees, or a lot of Longans on those branches there. I think T's gonna set, or Chai's gonna sit here and help his wife. And we've got 5 bags, so about 160 kilo in the back of the truck. We're getting there. Double A's 30, A's 20, B's 10, C's 1. Cost me 2.5 because you don't want those. Cost me 2.5 to have them picked. It's a nice little place. Yeah, we're all set. Got some workers that are going to come and unload the 5 bags I got. Then we'll take the bags back and let our pickers finish picking. They've still got at least that much more to pick or more. Hey babe.